Welcome to a very special auspicious day, Sri Ramanavami. Wish you all a very, very happy Ramanavami. So before we begin our celebrations today, let us all pray. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschyata Desha Tarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Devotees, could you all please come forward? We have more devotees coming in. I'm going to move, so you all will be fine. Okay, so today is a very auspicious day. It is the appearance day of Lord Sri Ramachandra. As you all know, Lord Rama is a very popular incarnation of Lord Krishna. And Lord Ramachandra appeared in the month of Chaitra, which is in March and April. It's the 9th day of the growing moon. So it's called Chaitra Masa, Shukla Paksha, and Navami Tithi. And on this particular day, it's celebrated Ramanavami all over the world. It's a very popular festival, right, in India also. And as you all know, the life and activities of Sri Ram are explained in detail by Valmiki in Ramayana. And its summarized version of Ramayana is there, narrated by Sukadev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj in 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So it will be very auspicious for us to read Bhagavatam today, the 9th canto especially. Lord Ram was an ideal monarch, and his virtuous life is a perfect example for everyone in the family life to follow. Narration of his affectionate dealings with his family and with his wife, Mother Sita, have enchanted the generations of devotees. We all know the name Ram simply means bliss. Hence, Lord Ram gives bliss to all his devotees. Let us pray that he gives us the same bliss today. And why do we celebrate festivals? Especially Ram Navami, we're celebrating to get the opportunity for spiritual advancement and purification. When we associate with Lord Ram on his appearance day through hearing and speaking about his pastimes, chanting his holy name, and seeing his deity form, we can become purified and further develop our love for Krishna. And that's the very reason we all are here today, so that we can all glorify Lord Ram. Now let's sing a verse from Dashavataram Stotra to pray to Lord Ram. Vitarashidekshurane dekpati kamaniyam dashamukamauli balim ramaniyam keshavadrita ramasharira jaya jagadisha hare jaya jagadisha hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. It means, O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, you have assumed the form of Lord Ramachandra. All glories to you. In the battle of Lanka, you destroyed the 10-headed demon Ravana and distributed his heads as a delightful offering to the preceding deities of 10 directions, headed by Indra. This action was long desired by all of them, who were much harassed by this monster. Now, with this complete devotional and prayerful mood, let us start today's celebration. So the sequence is going to be, first we're going to have bhajans and Kirtan, followed by Abhishekam of Ram Parivar. We have them today. And then we'll have Gaura Arati. And then we have a special class, a very special class by His Grace Radha Krishna Prabhu. As you all know, for the last few days, Prabhu is here. So Prabhu will be giving a class on glorifying Lord Ram. And then finally, we'll have Prashadam. I know many of you all must be fasting. The fast breaking time is 8 o'clock. So that's when we conclude the program. With that, we'll start with the bhajans. First, we have Neha Mataji. Neha Mataji is going to sing a very, very beautiful bhajan. It is called Sri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajam. O my heart, sing praises of Sri Ram. With that, Neha Mataji is going to sing and Meera is going to support her. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Happy Ramanavami to all of you. Hare Krishna. Mangal Bhavana Mangal Hari Dravahu सुदशरथ अजर बिहारी राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सीताराम 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 राम सीताराम 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 राम सीताराम 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 राम सीताराम 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 राम सीताराम 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 राम सीताराम 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 श्री रामचंद्र कृपाल भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणं नवकंज लोचन कंज मुख पद कंज कद कंजारुणम् राम सीताराम 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 राम सीताराम 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 कंधर्प अगणित अमित छवि नवनील नीरद सुंदरम पटपीतमानुः टडत रुचि सुचि नोमि जनक सुतावरम राम सीताराम 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 राम सीताराम 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 बजुदीन बंधु दिनेश दानव दैत्य वंश कंदनम रघुनंद आनंद कंद कौशल चंद दशरथ नंदनम राम सीताराम 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 राम सीताराम 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 शिर मुकुट कुंडल तिलक चारोदार अंग विभूषणम आजान भुज शर चाप धर संग्राम जित खर दूषणम राम सीताराम 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 राम सीताराम 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 इति वदते तुलसीदास शंकर शेष मुनि मन रंजनम मम हृदय कुंज निवास कुरु कामादि खलदल गंजनम राम सीताराम 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 राम सीताराम 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 राम सीताराम 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 राम सीताराम 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 मनु जाहिरा जय मिलहि सोवर सहज सुंदर सावरो करुणा निधान सुजान शील इसने ही जानत रावरो राम सीताराम 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 राम सीताराम 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 इहि भाति गौरी आशीष सिय सुदिये हर हर्षित अली तुलसी भवानी पूज पुनि पुनि मुदित मन मंदिर चली Ram Sita Ram Sita Ram Sita Ram Ram Sita 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 Ram बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय थैंक यू
Thank you, Neha Mataji. That was so beautiful. Such a wonderful bhajan. It's a great way to start our celebrations today. Thank you so much. Next, we have Samanvita. Samanvita will be singing two bhajans. One, Sita Kalyana Vaibhogam, come. And Shuddha Brahma Pratapara Rama.
Hare Krishna. Happy Ramanavami. First, I will be singing Sita Kalyana Vaibhogame, Rama Kalyana Vaibhogame. पवनजा स्तुतिपात्र पावनचरित्र रविसोमवरनेत्र रमणीयगात्र सीताकल्याण वैभोगमे रामकल्याण वैभोगमे भक्तजन परिपाला भरितशरजाला भुक्तिमुक्तिदलीला भूदेवपाला सीताकल्याण वैभोगमे रामकल्याण वैभोगमे पामरसुरभिमा परिपूर्णकामा श्यामजगदाभिराम साकेतधाम सीताकल्याण वैभोगमे रामकल्याण वैभोगमे सर्वलोकधार समरैकवीर गर्वमानसधूर कनकागधीर सीताकल्याण वैभोगमे रामकल्याण वैभोगमे निगमागमविहार निरुपमशरीर नगधारगविधार नटलोकधार सीताकल्याण वैभोगमे रामकल्याण वैभोगमे परमेशनुतगीता भावजलधिपूता धरणिकुलसुञ्जाता त्यागराजनुता सीताकल्याण वैभोगमे रामकल्याण वैभोगमे 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 वैभोगमे. Next, I will sing Nama Ramayanam from Balakanda to Kishkindakanda. शुद्ध ब्रह्म परात्पर राम कालात्मक परमेश्वर राम शुद्ध ब्रह्म परात् पररां कालात्मक परमेश्वर राम शेषतल्पसुखनिद्रितरां ब्रह्मात्यमर प्रार्थितरां चण्डकिरणकुलमण्डनरां श्रीमद्दशरथनन्दनरां कौशल्यासुखवर्धनरां विश्वामित्रप्रियधनरां घोरताटकाघाटकरां मारीचानिनिपातकरां कौशिकमखसंरक्षकरां श्रीमदहल्योद्वारकरां गौतममुनिसम्पूजितरां मुनिवरगणसंस्तुतरां नाविकदामृतमृदुपदरां मिथिलापुरजनमोहकरां वैदेहमानसरञ्जकरां त्र्यम्बककार्मुकभञ्जकरां सीतार्पितवरमालिकरां कृतवैवाहककौतुकरां भार्गवदर्पविनाशकरां श्रीमदयोध्यापालकरां राम राम जय राजा राम 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 जय सीताराम राम राम जय राजा राम 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 जय सीताराम अगणित गुणगणभूषितराम् अवनीतनया कामितराम् अगणित गुणगणभूषितराम् अवनीतनया कामितरां रागाचन्द्रसमाननरां पितृवाक्याश्रितकाननरां प्रियगुहविनिवेदितपदरां तिक्षालितनिजमृदुपदरां भारद्वाजमुखानन्दकरां चित्रकूटाद्रिनिकेतनरां दशरथसन्ततचिन्तितरां कैकेयीतनयार्पितरां विरचितनिजपितृकर्मकरां भरतार्पितनिजपादुकरां राम राम जय राजा राम 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 जय सीताराम राम राम जय राजा राम 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 जय सीताराम दण्डकावनजनपावनरां दुष्टविराधविनाशनरां दण्डकावनजनपावनरां दुष्टविराधविनाशनरां शरभङ्गसुतीयार्चितराम् अगस्त्यानुग्रहवर्धितरां गृद्धादिपसंसेवितरां पञ्चवटीततसुस्थितरां शूर्पणकाद्रिविनायकरां करदूषणमुखशोधकरां सीताप्रियहरिणानुगरां मारीचाद्रिकृतासुकरां विनश्य सीतान्वेषकरां गृद्धादिपगतिधायकरां शबरीदत्तफलासनरां कबन्धभानुच्छेदनरां राम राम जय राजा राम 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 जय सीताराम राम राम जय राजा राम 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 जय सीताराम हनुमत्सेवित निजपदरां नटसुग्रीवाभीष्टतरां हनुमत्सेवित निजपदरां नटसुग्रीवाभीष्टतरां गर्वितवालिसंहारकरां वानरदूतप्रेषकरां हितकरलक्ष्मणसंयुतरां राम राम जय राजा राम 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 जय सीताराम राम राम जय राजा राम 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 जय सीताराम राम राम जय राजा राम 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 जय सीताराम राम राम जय राजा राम 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 जय सीताराम Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Samanvita, that was so beautiful bhajans. Thank you very much. Next we have Diya. Diya will sing the bhajan Rama 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 Nama Tarakam, and then she'll do Kirtan.
Hare Krishna. Rama 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 Nama Tarakam Rama Krishna Vasudeva Bhakti Mukti Dayakam Rama 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 Nama Tarakam Rama Krishna Vasudeva Bhakti Mukti Dayakam Janaki Manoharam Sarvalokanayakam Janaki Manoharam Sarvalokanayakam Shankaradi Sevyamana Punyanama Kirtanam Shankaradi Sevyamana Punyanama Kirtanam Shankaradi Sevyamana Punyanama Kirtanam Rama 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 Nama Tarakam Rama Krishna Vasudeva Bhakti Mukti Dayakam Rama 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 Nama Tarakam Rama Krishna Vasudeva Bhakti Mukti Dayakam Veera Shura Vanditam Ravanadinasakam Veera Shura Vanditam Ravanadinasakam Anjaneya Jivanama Rajamantarupakam Anjaneya Jivanama Rajamantarupakam Anjaneya Jivanama Rajamantarupakam Rama 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 Nama Tarakam Rama Krishna Vasudeva Bhakti Mukti Dayakam Rama 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 Nama Tarakam Rama Krishna Vasudeva Bhakti Mukti Dayakam Veera Shura Vanditam Ravanadinasakam Veera Shura Vanditam Ravanadinasakam Anjaneya Jivanama Rajamantarupakam Anjaneya Jivanama Rajamantarupakam Rama 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 Nama Tarakam Rama Krishna Vasudeva Bhakti Mukti Dayakam Rama 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 Nama Tarakam Rama Krishna Vasudeva Bhakti Mukti Dayakam Rama Krishna Vasudeva Bhakti Mukti Dayakam Rama Krishna Vasudeva Bhakti Mukti Dayakam. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Diya. That was such a beautiful bhajan and then Kirtan. Thank you very much, Diya. Let us give a big round of applause to all our Kirtaniers. Thank you very much, everyone. Let's move on to the next segment of the program, which is Abhishekam. We are doing Abhishekam to the Lord Ram Parivar today. We have His Grace Radha Krishna Prabhu and with Satyasara Prabhu, they'll be doing the Abhishekam. And Abhay Prabhu will be singing the Brahma Samhita. So you all can recite, Prabhu? Yeah, all of you can recite, yeah.
चंद्र की जय Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ishvara Paramaha Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. Okay, sorry. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की। ईश्वरः परमः कृष्णः सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर्गोविन्दः सर्वकारणकारणं चिन्तामणिप्रकरसद्मसुकल्पवृक्ष लक्षावृतेषु सुरभिरभिपालयन्तं लक्ष्मीसहस्रशतसंभ्रमसेव्यमानं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि वेणुं कणन्तमरविन्ददलायताक्षं वर्गावतं समसिदाबुधसुन्दरङ्गं कन्दर्पकोटिकमनीयविशेषशोभं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आलोलचन्द्रकलसद्वनमाल्यवंशी रत्नाङ्गदं प्रणयकेलिकलाविलासं श्यामं त्रिभङ्गललितं नियतप्रकाशं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि अङ्गानि यस्य सकलेन्द्रियवृत्तिमन्ति पश्यन्ति पान्ति कलयन्ति चिरं जगन्ति आनन्दचिन्मयसदुज्ज्वलविग्रहस्य गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि अद्वैतमच्युतमनादि अनन्तरूपम् आद्यं पुराणपुरुषं नवयौवनं च वेदेषु दुर्लभमदुर्लभमात्मभक्तौ गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि पन्तास्तु कोटिशतवत्सरसम्प्रगाम्यो वायोरतापि मनसो मुनिपुङ्गवानां सोऽप्यस्य यत्प्रकृतस्विन्तवचिन्ततत्त्वे गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि एकोपसौ रचयितुं जगदण्डकोटि चक्षिरस्गदण्डचयान्तरन्त अण्डान्तरस्थपरमाणुचयान्तरस्थं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यद्भावभावितधियो मनुजस्तथैव सम्प्राप्य रूपमहिमासनयानभूषा सूक्तैर्यमेव निगमप्रतिवैस्तुवन्तीं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आनन्दचिन्मयरसप्रतिभाविताभिः स्थाभिर्य एव निजरूपतया कलाभिः गोलोक एव निवसत्वखिलात्मभूतो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि प्रेमाञ्जनचुरितभक्तिविलोचनेन सन्तः सदैव हृदयेषु विलोकयन्ति यं श्यामसुन्दरमचिन्त्यगुणस्वरूपं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि रामादिमूर्तिषु कलानियमेन तिष्ठन् नानावतारमकरोद्भुवनेषु किन्तु कृष्णः स्वयं समभवत् परमपुमान्यो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यस्य प्रभा प्रभवतो जगदण्डकोटि कोटिष्वशेषवसुधादिविभूतिभिन्नं ब्रह्मनिष्कलमनन्तमशेषभूतं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि माया हि यस्य जगदण्डशतानि सूते त्रैगुण्यतद्विषयवेदवितायमाना सत्त्वावलम्बि परसत्त्वविशुद्धसत्त्वं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आनन्दचिन्मयरसात्मतया मनसु यः प्राणिनं प्रतिफलं स्मरतामुपेत्य लीलायितेन भुवनानि जयस्त्रजस्त्रं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि गोलोकनाम्नि निजधाम्नि तले च तस्य देवी महेश हरिधामसुतेषु तेषु ते प्रभावनिचया विहियाश्रयेण गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं हम भजामि सृष्टिस्थितिप्रलयसाधनशक्तिरेका छायेव यस्य भुवनानि बिभर्ति दुर्गा इच्छानुरूपमपि यस्य च चेष्टसे सा गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि क्षीरं यथा दधिविकारविशेषयोगात् संजायते न हि ततः पृथगस्ति हेतो यः शम्भुतामपि तथा समुपैति कार्यात् गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि दीपार्चिरेव हि दशान्तरममुपेत्य दीपायते विवृतहेतुसमानधर्मा यस्तादृगेव हि च विष्णुतया विभाति गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यः कारणानवजले भजति स्म योगा निद्रामनन्तजगदण्डसरोमकूपा आधारशक्तिमवलम्ब्य परां स्वमूर्तिं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यस्यैकनिश्वसितकालवतावलम्ब्य जीवन्ति लोमविलजा जगदण्डनाथा विष्णुर्महान् स यः इश्च कलाविशेषो गोविन्दम् आदिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि भास्मान् यथा स्म सकलेषु निजेषु तेज स्वीयं कियत् प्रकटयत्वितपित्वदत्रा ब्रह्माय एष जगदण्डविधानकर्ता गोविन्दम् आदिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यत्पादपल्लवयुगं विधिनाय कुम्भ द्वन्द्वे प्रणामसमये स गणाधिराज विघ्नान् विहन्तु मलमस्य जगस्त्रयस्य गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि अग्निर्मही गगनमम्बुमरुद्दितस्य कालास्तथा स्म मनसीति जगत्त्रयाणि यस्माद्भवन्ति विभवन्ति विशन्ति यं च गोविन्दम् आदिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यक्षक्षुरे स सविता सकलाग्रहाणां राजा समस्तसुरमूर्तिरशेषतेजा यस्याज्ञया भ्रमुतसंवृतकालचक्रो गोविन्दम् आदिपुरुषं हम भजामि धर्मोत्थपापनिचयः स्वतुयां तपांसि ब्रह्मादिकीटपतगावदयश्च जीवा यद्वत्र विभवा प्रगटा प्रभावा गोविन्दम् आदिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यस्त्वेन्द्रगोपमतवेन्द्रमहो स्वकर्म बन्धानुरूपफलभाजनमातनोति कर्माणि निर्दहति किन्तु च भक्तिभाजां गोविन्दम् आदिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यं क्रोधकामसहज प्रणयादिभीति वात्सल्यमोह गुरुगौरवसैव्यभावे सञ्चिन्त्य तस्य सदृशीं तनुमापुरेते गोविन्दम् आदिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि श्रियं कान्ताकान्तः परमपुरुषकल्पतर्वो ध्रुवा भूमेश्चिन्तामणिगणमयी तोयम् अमृतं कथागानं नाट्यं गबनपि वंशी प्रियसखी चिदानन्दं ज्योतिः परमपि तदा स्वाद्यमपि च स यत्र क्षीराब्धिस्रवति सुरभिभ्यश्च सुवहान् निमेषादिर्ख्यो वा व्रजति न हि यत्रपि समयः श्वेतदीपं तमममिह गोलोकमिति यं विदन्तस्ते सन्तः क्षितिविरलतत कतिपये महाकृष्णः चिदानन्दविग्रहः अनादिरादिर्गोविन्दा सर्वकारणकारणम् की जय। So we'll recite this mantra. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Pahima, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava Rakshama. Please sing from your heart. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Pahi Mam. Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Pahi Mam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Pahi Mam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Pahi Mam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Pahi Mam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava Rakshama. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava Rakshama. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava Rakshama. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Pahi Mam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Pahi Mam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Pahi Mam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Pahi Mam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshama. 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 Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahi Mam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahi Mam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ramam Hare Hare. बोलिए सियापति रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. गौर प्रेमानंदी.
Thank you, Abhay Prabhu, for that beautiful Brahma Samhita and the mantra. And thank you, His Grace Radha Krishna Prabhu and Satisara Prabhu for the Abhishekam. Next, we will do Gaura Arati. Request all of you all to please stand. Today's Arati will be performed Pujari service by Pushpanjali Mataji and Kirtan by Sanjana.
Somebody's parking blinkers are on.
Easy.
Battery will die. Somebody's parking blinkers are on.
Hare Krishna devotees, somebody's jeep is parked and the blinkers are on. Prabhu, it's a jeep, right? If you all could please check your cars.
Every man we can. Thank you, Mataji.
चांदे आरती का शोभा
जय जय गौर चंदे आरती का शोभा
जय जय गौर चांदे आरती का शोभा
जानवी तत्वने जगमन लोभा
तटबने जगमन लोभा
जानवी तत्वने जगमन लोभा
जानवी तटबने जगमन लोभा
दखिने निताई चान बामे गददारा
चान बामे गददारा
निकटे अद्वैत श्रीनि वास छत्रधारा
कटे अद्वैत श्रीनि वास छत्रधारा
निकटे
वासा छत्रधारा
किंवा मोसियाचे गौराचान रत्ना सिंहासने
किंवा बशियाचे घोरचान रत्ना सिंहासने
आरती कोरे ना ब्रह्मा आदिदेव गाणे
आरती कोरे न ब्रह्मा आदिदेव गाणे
हरि आदि कोरी चमरा दुलाया
की बनरा कोरी चामरा दुलाया
संजय मुकुंद बासु घोषानि गाया
संजय मुकुंद बसु घोषायदि गाया
शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताला
शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे कडताला
माडुरा मृदंगा बाजे परमारसाला
माधुरा मृदंगा बाजे परमारसाला
माधुरा मृदंगा बाजे परमारसाला
माधुरा मृदंगा बाजे परमारसाला
शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे
शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे
शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे
शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे
गौरांगे राधिक शोभा जग जन मन लोभा
गौरांगे
राधिक शोभा जग जन मन लोभा गौरांगे राधिक शोभा जग जन मन लोभा
गौरांगे रतिक शोभा जग जान माना लोबा
जग जन मन लोभा
माना लोबा
माधुरा मृदंगा बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे
माधुर 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 बाजे
जग जन मन लोभा
जग जान मान लोबा
जग जन कि बाहु कोटि चंद्र जीनी वदना उज्ज्वला
बाहु कोटि चंद्र जीनी वदना उज्ज्वला वदना उज्ज्वला
गाला देशे बनमाला कोरे जलमाला
देशे बना करे जलमाला
गाला देशे बनमाला कोरे जलमाला
गाला देशे बनमाला
शिवा शुकनारायणा प्रेमे गदगादा
शिवा राधा प्रेमे गदगादा
भक्ति विनोदा देके गौरा संपादा
भक्ति विनोदा के गौरा संपादा
भक्ति विनोदा देके गौरा संपादा
भक्ति विनोदा देखे गौरा संपादा
कि मन जय जय गौरा चंदे आरती कुशोभा
जय जय आरती कशोभा
जानवी ततवाने जगमन लोभा
जानवी तट बने जगमान लोभा
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने
विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले मते
भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमस्ते
सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे दे सत्याद सतारिणे
श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरा
श्री कृष्ण दुनिया प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरा भक्त वृंद
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
राधा नीला माधुरा रे
जय राधा नील माधव राधा नील माधव राधे
जय राधा नील माधुरा रे
जय राधा नील माधव राधा नील माधव राधे
जय राधा कालचंद्री राधा कालचंद्री श्री राधे
जय राधा कालचंद्री राधा कालचंद्री श्री राधे
जय सीताराम जय सीताराम जय सीताराम जय लक्ष्मण हनुमान
सीताराम जय सीताराम जय सीताराम जय लक्ष्मण हनुमान
जय रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम
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 नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल
नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल
नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल
गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रताचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमारिस डिवाइन ग्रेस ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रताचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमारिस डिवाइन ग्रेस शिल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर शिल प्रभुपाद की। इस्कॉन बीबी फाउंडर आचार्य शिल प्रभुपाद की। नामाचार्य शिल हरिदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की, श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की, श्री वृंदावन धाम की, श्री मथुरा धाम की, श्री मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की, श्री जगन्नाथपुरी श्री क्षेत्र धाम की, गंगा माई की, यमुना माई की, भक्ति देवी की, तुलसी महारानी की, समवेत भक्त वृंद की, युग धर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, ट्रांसनल बृहद बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की, ट्रांसनल प्रसादम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी। The holy appearance day of Lord Ramachandra Bhagwan ki, Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Shri Shri Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
So we'll do Nourishing Arati now.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Hiranyakashipurvakshah Shilatankanakalaye
Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha
Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha
Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimha
Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimha
Bahir Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha
Bahir Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha
Narasimha Manin Sharanam Prapade
Narasimha Manin Sharanam Prapade
Tava Kara Kamalavare Nakam Anduta Shringram Dalita Hiranyakashipur Tanu Vringam Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare
Tava Kara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya
Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj,
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj
Nittai Gaura Hari Bol,
Hari Bol
Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol,
Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol
श्री सर्व विघ्न विनाशकारी श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय। भक्त प्रवार श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। शील प्रभुपाद की जय।
That was a beautiful Arati. Thank you, Pushpanjali Mataji. Thank you, Sanjana, for the Kirtan, Samanvita for supporting, Radha Damodar Prabhu for Mridangam, and Neha Mataji for the Kartal. With that, devotees, we're going to have class, so you all can turn around 90 degrees. Yeah. I'll just move here. So, Mataji, please come. So today, we're moving to the next segment of the program. Devotees, you all can come a little front, so the new devotees who are coming in, they can sit behind. You all can move front. Prabhujis can come front too. So today's special class will be about glorifying Lord Sri Ram by His Grace Radha Krishna Prabhu. We're very fortunate that Prabhu has come from Houston. For the last 5 days, we have been having a wonderful time listening to such amazing and enlightening class. I'm sure all of you all will agree it's been so blissful last 5 days, right? We're truly fortunate, Prabhu, for your association. And for the new devotees who have come here first time, a brief introduction about Prabhu. His Grace Radha Krishna Prabhu is a monk, mentor and spiritual teacher, primarily based in Houston. He travels all over the world, Australia, China, Hong Kong, Singapore, and America, giving talks on spiritual subjects from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. He is also an authority for Vedic studies in the Texas area. With that, let us welcome His Grace Radha Krishna Prabhu with loudly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra one time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you. It's good to see all of you. And today is especially a very special day. It is the holy appearance day of Ramachandra Bhagwan. Shri Ramachandra Bhagwan ki jai. I will just sing a short bhajan and then we can start the class. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram. Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram, Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram. Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram, Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram. Sita Ram Jaya Sitaram, Sitaram Jaya Sitaram. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram, Patita Pavana Sitaram. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram, Patita Pavana Sitaram. Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivakaracharya Astadarashi Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Okay, now we can start. So, as we were saying, we are celebrating the holy appearance day of Lord Ramachandra, and we should always accept this or appreciate the good fortune we have. Many people don't understand about the presence or even the existence of God. So we should always appreciate our fortune that we are able to at least remember what? Remember the Lord and His pastimes. Oftentimes people forget all these things, and in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, Janma karma chami divyam evam yovati tatvata tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mamiti. So Arjuna, that he informs Arjuna, says, merely by remembering his pastimes, just anything about Krishna, if you can remember his appearance, his pastimes, and in incarnations, at the time of that, you can go back to him, right? So, just today I texted my friend Ram, happy Ramanavami, and his wife is a devotee, and they live in Australia, and then the wife's father lives in South Africa. So when I texted, then he texted back. This was early in the morning. So then he said, "Oh, I'm crying here and so on, and thank you for the wishes. And my father-in-law just passed away." So it was Ramanavami, and he passed on such a glorious way. He said they were chanting the prayers for Lord Ram, and Kirtans and so on, and he just left. So glorious, So devotees know how to help one another. Devotees know how to leave this world happily also. So at the time of that, we will not have to take birth again if we remember the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. So it's very nice for us to gather here together and discuss the very nice pastimes. And we should also understand that the pastimes of the Lord are always very attractive. It is, because we don't get tired of it. Every year we speak the same thing. But we are joyful, we are very happy about it. So, in the Ramayana, I guess you all know the story of how Lord Ram came, took birth and so on. So I'm just going to touch on a few stories, and then we can appreciate it. So I'm going to look at some of my notes and tell you. All right, in the Ramayana, there it describes at the time when they discovered where Sita was. She was in Lanka, and so they wanted to build the bridge. And so Lord Ram got all the monkeys and all the other soldiers to come and help build the bridge to cross Lanka. But this was before the battle, before Ravana even started to attack and so on. This much before that. So at that time, whilst they were building, Vibhishana, who's Vibhishana? Ravana's brother. Which brother is he? Youngest. Youngest. Yeah. He's the last one. Who's the first one? Ram. Who's the second? Kumbhakarna. Yeah. Who's the third? No. Shurpanaka. And then Vibhishana. He's the youngest. He's the youngest brother and the youngest child. No, there's one sister. You have made Shurpanaka a man. She will come after you. So anyway, Ravana's youngest brother, Vibhishana, he came and he was asking for shelter. He was asking Ram for shelter. And guess what? Ram immediately said, yes, I'll give him shelter. There's no problem. He was thinking, I'm a king. Generally, kings means they give shelter, they give protection, they help people who come to them asking for, please you help me. So that's the duty of a leader, to give shelter. This is the standard in the previous ages. Now the standard is they'll kick you. You ask for shelter, they'll kick you. So anyway, he said, if someone asks me shelter, I must give that person some shelter. I must give them protection. I must give them faith and a willingness to be alive also. But so when Ram said he wanted to help them, his advisors, Sugriva and all the others, they said, no, don't. This guy, he's an enemy, right? Because he's coming from the enemy camp. He's brother of Ravana. They are the enemies. They are from the Rakshasa group. So they are saying, don't give him shelter. He's from the enemies. He's just come here to spy on us, right? It's like sometimes you know your recipe, cooking recipe, someone come to see, you don't want to give them the recipe. You consider them your enemy. Actually, one time Prabhupada taught Yamuna Mataji. If you all know Yamuna Mataji, he is one of his leading disciples. Anyway, she left this world. And Prabhupada taught her how to cook. Then after a while, she was able to cook. Then Prabhupada told her, you must teach others. He said, if you teach others, then you will not lose that ability. And if you teach others, then whatever you cook next time will taste even more better. So if you share your recipes, and because it's for Krishna, then you'll get better. But if you hoard it, then it's lost forever in your mind. Okay, so don't do that. So anyway, when they were all objecting to Ram giving shelter, then Lord Ram told them a story, told all his advisors a story. He said once there was a man and he was passing through a dense jungle, forest. I don't know if you all have been to a forest or jungle. Some of you have, some haven't. If you go into these jungles and forests, even in a bright daylight, it becomes very dark. Very dark. You sometimes may need a torchlight also. So in that forest there were many wild animals, tigers, lions, a lot of ferocious animals, so many of them. So at that time there was a tiger that came and attacked the man. So but fortunately he was quick, and so he climbed up a tree, and then he thought, oh God, how am I going to… That tiger started to jump, but he was high enough, and the tiger couldn't catch him. But the tiger wasn't going to go away, because this tiger had already developed a taste for human blood. So it was just looking at him, he wanted to kill him. Then the tiger was looking at him, and then it saw a monkey on top of the man. So then the tiger then looked at the monkey and said, "My brother, monkey, we are all brethren, we are all animals. That you are my brother and this human is your enemy." He said, when you jump from one tree to another, these human beings, they will catch you. And when you eat the fruits, they will get very angry. They'll beat you and they'll throw you to the ground. So they are very cruel. They sometimes throw stones at you. Right? In India, I've seen people take stone, throw a stick and so on. Well, sometimes you just have to show the stick and the monkey will like, what? So he was saying like that. And when you come down, they'll send their dogs to catch you. And so he was thinking, so therefore, you should consider my proposal. The other thing is, they also cut down trees, and you have nowhere to go. So kindly think what I am going to tell you, and think dearly that this human being, he is your enemy, and you are my brother, you are my friend. You should understand this. I know you are very intelligent. You are my brother, you are my friend. So he keeps saying that, you are my friend, you are my brother, the tiger is saying. So don't stay with such an enemy, And it's not good for you, it's not hopeful, and he will let you down. So he's saying, my brother, if you don't do this, I'll have to starve, Push the man down, help me out. Help me, push him down. I'm actually very hungry. And if he falls down, I'll fulfill my satisfaction and I won't bother you also. I'll go away, and I'll be forever grateful. So the tiger is talking like that. So the monkey looks at the tiger and he looks at the human and he's thinking, what is this tiger? So the monkey said, "Oh, my brother tiger, I understand what you have said." Then he said, "But this human being, he has dharma, right? Human being must have dharma, right? That means they have religiosity. And although I am an animal, I have no dharma. Still, my conscience says that it is wrong to put one in danger when they are trying to save themselves. So my conscience is saying, I should not do this, So then the tiger looked at him, and the monkeys looking at him. So monkey wasn't going to fall for the tiger's plan. So the tiger kept looking, and then he came up with another plan. So he said, "My brother, you have dharma." Then he was looking now at the human. When he says, "You have dharma." So he's looking at the human. "You have dharma, you're a human being." Then he said, "Is it not your dharma that you should give food to one who's very hungry?" Right? That's the dharma of a human. So generally, if you're a grihastha, you're cooking. In the old days, they will go outside and then they'll shout, "Prasadam, prasadam, prasadam," 3 times. And then if nobody comes, then they eat. If somebody comes, they're supposed to give food to people who are. Sometimes the animals will come, they'll also feed the animals like that. So in those days, they were like that. So seems that this tiger is very learned also about the human ways. So then he says, "Is it not your dharma? I'm very hungry. Should you not feed me? You must give food to a hungry jiva. You should push down this monkey, then I'll get food." Then the man was looking, and then, you may be wondering, how is that possible that the animals were talking? So this is many previous ages. Those days, men and animals were able to talk to each other, like Dr. Dolittle. Yeah. So in any case, so the man said, yes, this is a good idea. So just see the man, right? He said, it's a good idea. And so he pushed a monkey down. And the monkey fell in front of the tiger. But guess what? The tiger didn't attack him. Why? Huh? Because he has taste for human blood. So he wasn't interested in the monkey. He was greedy for the human blood. So he didn't eat the monkey. And then he was, he was thinking, no one eats the flesh of monkey. And then the tiger said, oh my brother monkey, you see, we are friends. I did not attack you. Look at this man, how terrible he is. He is irreligious. He has no dharma, he said. We are friends. Yes. So he pushed you right in front of me. He's abandoning you. And you were trying to save him. Look here, I can satisfy my hunger. Thereby, and you can go free. And he will get a good lesson. Just push him down. Go up and push him down. So the monkey climbed up the tree. But the monkey is smart also. So the monkey said, this man, after he went up, he said, this man may be adharmic. He's not following any dharma. And he said, although I am only an animal, I am not adharmic. I cannot do this. At first he said he doesn't have dharma. But now the monkey is saying, I'm not also adharmic. I don't have dharma, but I'm not adharmic. So then it is considered that human birth is very rare, rarely achieved. It's superior to any other species actually. Why? In this human birth you understand religious principles very easily and you can actually practice them properly. So it's very important. But then he was saying, unfortunately many humans have a history of irreligiousness. Just like you can see in society, people don't have religion, they just want to do anything. But that is not even found in the society of animals. So it is a sad situation. So Lord Ram explained this story to them and said, this is my mission. When I'm here, I've come to establish ideal behavior in human society. So it is very important for each and every one of us that, when we take up this Krishna consciousness, we do our best. We become ideal practitioners. Not just today I feel Krishna conscious, just like the man, right, in the tree, or like the monkey. You cannot be like that, don't be like that, yeah? Lord Ram has come to establish ideal behavior in human society. So he told his ministers, I have come, therefore we can see, what's another name for Lord Ram? They call him? Yeah, Maryada Purushottama, the topmost example and enjoyer of Vedic property, right? He never goes against Vedic scriptures. So he is Veda Maryada. He also follows very carefully. He never transgresses Vedic regulations, etiquette, and so Lord Ram was the ideal king, ideal father, ideal son, ideal friend, ideal brother, and ideal husband. Yeah, I know you are saying ideal husbands because you know you don't have one. Nowadays it's so difficult to get ideal husband or ideal wives, daughters, sons and so on. But we are fortunate because we are all in Krishna consciousness. So we can come to that standard. We can strive to come to that standard of ideal. Lord Ramchandra is that ideal perfection. We can't become like Lord Ramchandra, but we can aspire. We can follow in the footsteps. He and his brother and Sita, they all showed us how to live a proper and good life. So Lord Ram said, if someone comes to take shelter of me, right? If anyone comes to take shelter of me, I never think of his past history. I don't see their past history. It's amazing, huh? He doesn't see. I immediately give them shelter if they come to take shelter of me. And so he said, Vibhishana, he has come and asked me shelter. How can I refuse? I've given him the shelter and he's now my friend. No one should have any doubt about him, because the Lord has faith, so then he's saying, nobody should have. And this is the nature of Lord Ramachandra. Not only that, he's very compassionate. In fact, later on when they are fighting in the battlefield, he defeats in the first time with Ravana. He defeats him and he tells Ravana, go back, think about it. If you surrender to me and say, I will take care of you, I'll protect you. But Ravana was so proud. He's thinking, who's this man? I'm a Rakshasa. I'm so powerful. How dare, he says. So he goes home, he thinks about it, and then he comes and he gets killed. That's the nature of a fool. Now, so I'll now jump into the personalities, some personalities. Who's Dasarath? Dasaratha? The father of Ramachandra. He has how many wives? 3 wives. This is quiz. And their names are Kaushalya, Kaikeyi, Sumitra. Yeah, give others a chance. And Ram was the son of Kaushalya. Yeah. Oh, you can say also, but don't say it so loudly. Others feel less. And Lakshman and Shatrughan, Sumitra, she had twins. And Bharata was son of Kaikeyi. Yeah. Dasarath had a daughter. What was her name? Shanta. Yeah. She was the eldest. And who did she marry? Shringi. Yes. Yeah. So before the sons were born to Dasarath, there was a mighty asura. His name was Sambara. Not the sambar, but Sambara. Right? So he was creating so much havoc in the heavenly planets. And so Indra was very close friend to Dasarath. And so he approached Dasarath, and Dasarath was a very capable fighter. He could defeat so many asuras. Very powerful also. So Indra approached him and said, please help. You please help us fight this demon Sambara. Sambara was very powerful. He had a special boon. So whenever he was fighting with his enemy, he can expand into 10 different positions. Right? There's north, south, east, west, then northeast, and then southeast, and all 8 plus up and down. So he was in 10 positions. At any one time he can appear and he'll fight. And they could not defeat him. He was very powerful like that. So Indra asked, at that time Dasaratha's name was Nimi. And so King Nimi came to help him. And when he came, he brought his wife Kaikeyi at that time. So she came with him. And she was, why did he bring her? She was also very expert in the chariot driving. So anyway, when they came to Devaloka and they had this fight, and the fight was going on with Sambara and Dasarath. Sambara's army was powerful, but Dasarath wiped them out. So Sambara then expanded in 10 different positions and started attacking. So what Dasarath did, King Nimi did was, he was also an expert in chariot. So he could move his chariot in 10 directions very quickly. So fast that it seems that Dasarath was facing 10 directions at the same time. It was so powerful like that. So he was doing that and challenging Sambara with the arrows, and they were fighting vigorously. And at one point, Sambara got the upper hand, and then his arrow shook the entire chariot, and Nimi fell and he lost consciousness. But Kaikeyi took the chariot and took him away from the war field until he recovered. So when he recovered, they came again, and then they started again. His chariot is spinning. Because it's spinning so much and he's been shot so much by Sambara, the axle started to give up. So the axle started coming back out. So Kaikeyi was thinking, if the axle falls up, then my husband will die. So she used her finger and she put her finger in the axle and she held it for the entire battle. So then Dasarath fought and defeated Sambara. And then later on he found out she saved his life twice. So then he said, I give you 2 boons. Tell me now what you want. I'll give you whatever you want. She said, no, not now, but one day I'll ask you what I want. So because Dasarath could change his chariot in 10 different directions, Indra and the demigods named him Dasaratha. So 10 Ratha at the same time. Huh? Now you know him, how he got his name. So that's Dasaratha. But of course, after that he came back, and then things were going on very nicely, but he didn't have a son. Right? He had a daughter, and then he didn't have any children. So at that time, they called this sage Rishya Shringa. Huh? This sage, he was born from an antelope. Yeah. The antelope carried the embryo, and so he was born from the antelope, and he had an antelope horn. So he's known as Rishya Shringa, but he's very powerful. Very powerful sage. And so if he conducts that yagna, it's known as Putra Kamesti yagna. Or you can say it's like Ashwamedha sacrifice also. Ashwamedha sacrifice, yeah. And so they were successful with that sacrifice. And then from the sacrificial fire, a divine celestial person came and offered a payas. And so then Dasarath divided at the behest of Vashishta Muni told him, yes, divide it. So he divided half, gave to his first wife, Kaushalya, half he took it, and then he divided that half into 2 portions, and then the quarter he gave it to Kaikeyi, and then the last one he divided in 2, and twice he gave to Sumitra, and therefore she had twins and the others have single children. Yeah. When Dasarath was very young as a prince, he was very expert. His skills was very good. Simply by hearing, he could understand which animal or who is behind what tree. Those art is forgotten. Now we hear all nonsense, so we cannot hear anything. Right? When we tell you good advice, you can't hear also, So, but in those days they trained so nicely and they could hear, and so nowadays you have heat-seeking missiles, right? When there's heat and then the missiles can go. So Dasarath was sound. Thank you. So that's a sound, yeah. So Dasarath could hear the sound, and immediately that's nonsense or something wonderful or an animal or a human being like that. So Dasarath was capable. And he was very proud of his skills. So one day he was going in the night to hear and shoot any wild animals or not. So, and at that time it started raining heavily. So whilst walking, and he was thinking, oh, this is so cool. It's raining and I'm going to try to listen to the sound of the animal I'm going to kill. And they are very, very expert. When they shoot the arrow can go around the trees and everywhere and hit the target. So then he came to a river, a bank, and then he was walking, and then he heard this gurgling, murmuring sound. And he said, that's an animal. It sounds like an elephant. And then he used his arrow, boom, hit the target, and then the person, and then instead of an animal, he heard a man cry, "Oh, help!" And then Dasharatha's heart sank. Quickly he ran to the sound, and then he saw a young boy. And this young boy was writhing and he was going to die. And he said, "Why did you do this? What have I done to you? Why are you doing this? What wrong have I done?" And the arrow is in his abdomen, he's bleeding profusely, and his body is all full of mud because he fell. And then Dasharatha looked around, he saw there was a water pot. The young boy was filling the water pot, and that made the sound like an elephant. So you can see, as a human being, we will make mistakes. There's a tendency to commit mistakes. So we should never think we know everything. So be careful. Even if you see something, you may still be wrong. Yeah. Even if you hear something, you still could be misunderstanding. Yeah. So you should be very careful how you judge another thing. So unfortunately in this case, this young man was shot and he didn't know what to do. So the boy then explained he was a hermit boy and he lived with his 2 blind parents. And he said, "I'm the only person who's taking care of them. Now nobody is, they are waiting for me in the hermitage and they are thirsty, Dear sir, you please take this pot of water for them and then tell them that I'm gone." And Dasharatha didn't know what to do. And then the boy said, "I can't bear the pain anymore." The arrow was in his body. He said, "Please pull it out." And so Dasharatha didn't know what to do. He said, and he was like writhing. He said, "I just can't pain." So then Dasharatha took out the arrow. But as soon as he took it out, more blood, and then he lost his life. The boy, Dasharatha started crying. But then he said, "I have to do this right." So he went to the parents' hermitage. It was a little ways off. He had to walk. And finally he saw them. And then he told the parents immediately. But when the parents heard someone coming, they thought it was their son. This boy's name is Shravana Kumar. Yeah. So then they called out, Shravana Kumar, my dear son, you're back, But then the king, he was crying, he said, "I am so sorry, this is what happened." So then he gave them the water, they drank the water, and the parents, both of them, cursed him. They were so unhappy and they cursed. "You will also die in the loss of your own son." So you can see the connection now that you know the story. And then they say, "Where is our son's body? We want to know." So then he brought them to the son's body by the riverside. And then they said, "Please, put up a pyre and put the body and lit the body." So Dasharatha did that. And then as it was burning, both parents jumped into the fire and they left. But they cursed him. So that's the reason why later on Kaikeyi uses her boons and and Dasharatha had to suffer the separation of his son and die in great pain. Yeah, so then now we come to discussing about the Rakshasas. That's what everyone wants to hear, right? There was a very powerful sage. How did the Rakshasa Vamsa come? There was a very powerful sage. His name was Pulastya Muni. He was equal to his father. Who's his father? Brahmadev, yeah. And he was wonderful devotee, super excellent qualities. Yeah? And even the demigods loved him. He was charming and he had good wisdom. And he loved to do austerities. And so he used to go to this mountain, Mount Meru. It's a huge mountain, humongous mountain, made of Meru or Sumeru? So anyway, it's a mountain Meru. And whilst one time he was doing his austerity, he liked to be quiet place and doing. So, but the celestial ladies came one time. Many of them, they came. There were celestial ladies, Gandharvas. There were daughters of rishis, daughters of sages. Around the mountain, they came there to gather flowers, fruits, and young girls, they like to mix around and play around like that. So the sage was sitting there and he was trying to meditate, and he was like, no, this is not happening. No, it's not happening. I've been disturbed. And so to scare them, he made this a proclamation. He said, that if anyone comes here and stays, whichever lady falls in my vision, they will immediately conceive a child. So then immediately all the ladies ran. They all ran away, and then he was quiet. And he's like, oh, cool. So he started to meditate on the Supreme Lord. And at that time, there was another girl, daughter of Trina Bindu sage, Trina Bindu, yeah. So when, she didn't know, because she came late and all her friends are all gone. She's like, where are they? We are supposed to be here in the sage Pulastiya's ashram, because they like the sage also, so they also like to be around him, So she came, she couldn't find. So as she was walking, then she came upon the sage, and the sage looked at her. Of course, he's still meditating, his eyes, half semi-closed, he was looking at her. But because of his curse he made, she suddenly felt, yeah. And then she's like, what happened, what's happening? But the sage is still in meditation. And then she ran home to her father. And then and told the father, this is what happened. And the father said, you sure? Where were you? And then she said, I was near the sage Pulastiya. So then, these sages are very powerful. So he sat down and they can meditate on the past. They have this three-color Shakti, three-color Gyan. They have this knowledge. So he meditated, and then he saw what happened. Then he said, oh, I understand now, but it's a good thing, So then he took the daughter back to Pulastiya Muni, and then he told him, you have to marry my daughter, And the sage Pulastiya, he looked and he said, yeah, no problem. Because he wasn't opposed to it, but he just wanted to chase away the ladies. And then he said, okay, and your daughter is qualified. So now the sages' lives are not easy, right? They stay in the hermitage, and the girls, they have to really work hard, So she served the sage very nicely. And then he blessed her to have a wonderful son, and that boy was known as Vishravas. And he was just like the father, and he too was studying the Vedas. And he also was performing great austerities. And after some time when he grew up, there's a sage called Bharadwaja. And he had a daughter, a lot of daughters, a lot of sages. Right? Anyway, if you read the Puranas, it's usually like this, A lot of, every Purana you find, same pastimes, similar pastimes like that. So the Vishravas married the daughter of Bharadwaja, and she gave birth to a wonderful, glorious son. And because the son looked just like the father, Pulastiya Muni, who's the grandfather, he named him Vishravana. Okay, Vishravana. So, and then that young boy also took up austerity and practiced religiosity, and he wanted to please Lord Brahma. So then he went to another part of the mountain and performed for 2,000 years of austerity. And finally Brahma was pleased and he asked him, what boon do you want? And so this Vishravana, he said he wanted to become one like the protector of the world, the savior of the world. He said, I want to be just like all the gods who are both savior and protector. And so Brahma said, yes, I'm also thinking of, I need one prominent demigod also, and you seem to be qualified. And so he said, I will make you a guardian of wealth. So he's actually, who? Kuvera actually. So his name actually is Vishravana. Okay? And then he was very pleased with Vishravana and he gave him a wonderful vehicle. It's called Pushpaka. Yeah. Wherever you want to go, just think of it and it'll take you. It can go at the speed of light, like that. So that's how he became qualified. Yeah. Now, at the same time, there was a demon. His nature was also actually there were three brothers, Mali, Sumali and Mahavidyan. So they were Rakshasa in nature also. And many years ago they built this powerful army. At that time, Vishwakarma had already built, Lord Shiva had asked him to build a very wonderful city, and this city is Lanka actually. But nobody was living in that. And so these three brothers, they also got boons from Brahma after performing great austerities. And they say, the boon they ask is, nobody can defeat us. So whenever you ask boons like that, you know it's a troublemaker. So they got the boon and then they went to this city, Lanka, and they started to prosper. They married and they had many powerful children. And then they, thousands and thousands of Rakshasas were born like that. And but they started to harass the demigods and so on. Right? Once you are powerful, you start harassing the leaders who are trying to protect everyone. So they started harassing the demigods. And so the three brothers were such a pain that the demigods went to Lord Shiva and begged for help. They actually approached Indra. Indra said, I can't handle these guys. You know. So then they went to Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva said, actually I can tell you who can actually handle these three guys. Because these three brothers had the boons that made them very powerful, so that even the demigods couldn't handle them. So Lord Shiva said, go and see Lord Narayana, Vishnu. He can solve your problems. So they approached Lord Narayana and they told Narayana what the problem was. And Narayana said, yes, they are nonsense. I will get rid of them, So then, but whilst the demigods were discussing this parley that they were having with Vishnu, somehow or other the three brothers found out that these demigods are going to bring Vishnu to fight with them. So then among themselves they started talking, no, we will kill Narayana, we are so powerful. And so they brought all the army out, exodus of army coming out of Lanka, huge armies. And then they went in their chariots, they ascended and went to Devaloka. And they started fighting with the demigods. And so at that time the Lord came in his Garuda. He flew in the Garuda and he had 10 arms and he was shooting arrows left, right. It was chaos. Bodies flying everywhere, heads flying, torn limbs everywhere. And they were fighting so much and so on. So two of the brothers got into it. They fired thousands of arrows at Narayana. His body got covered with arrows, blood oozing. And finally the Lord killed one man. He took his chakra and cut his head off. And then one brother was dead. And then another one, he went and hit them in his chest, and they got frightened. And the Garuda came with his wing, and just with the wave of his wing, hordes of and host of army were thrown away. So the Rakshasas got frightened, so they ran back into Lanka. And then, and again, one of the brothers came out to fight, and Narayana killed that brother also. So the only one left was Sumali. And so he was like, we can't stay here anymore, because the Lord was going to attack Lanka. So they ran away. They abandoned Lanka, and then they went away. So this place was abandoned. When it was abandoned, this Vaishravana, he was looking for a place to stay, because when Brahma gave him the boon, Brahma didn't give him a place to stay. So then he went to Lanka to live. So originally the place was habited by Kuvera. And so he was living there very happily, and then they became to prosper. So many thousands of years goes on, and Sumali, when he ran away, he went to the lower planetary system, Patala Loka. And then he was thinking, when you lose a battle and you don't accept the defeat, you will brood. You will think, you will plan. So he was planning. So after many thousands of years, he was thinking, no, I have to do something. So he came back. He's very intelligent. So when he came out, he came to Lanka, then he saw Vishravana riding this Pushpaka and flying and meeting his father Vishravas. So he spied and he learned, this is the father of this glorious son. And then he made a plan, and then he went back to the lower planetary system, and he told his daughter, our race is gone and you are getting old. Time to get married. You should go to this Rishi, Vishravas, and he will give you a son, a glorious son. And so at that time she accepted her father's proposal, and so she quickly came to the surface, from the lower planetary, she came up to the earthly planet, and then she met the Vishravas, and she proposed to him. But it was getting late, like now it's getting late, Actually, time to break fast. You're approaching. And Vishravas was doing his sacrifices, and it's finished. It was late already. So she came and said, she was standing shyly, and he said, what do you want? He said, you should know what I want. Then he read her mind. He said, yes, but he said, this is the wrong time, to conceive a child. But she said, I have no choice, I want you to give me a child. Is that it? Do you think all my... And then he said, if you conceive a child at this moment, the children that you have will be evil, and they'll do no good in this world. They'll cause chaos. Then she started crying. She said, but I don't want such sons. And then he said, but there's no choice, you want a son. And then he said, but your last child will be glorious and righteous. And then anyway, she conceived, and she gave birth to 3 children. The first one was born, he was ugly. He looked horrible and disgusting, and he had 10 heads. And he had 20 arms. He looked like a crab, right? 20 arms like a crab. And then Vishrava named him Dasagriva. That means 10 necks or head. So he is Dasagriva. Then the next child was born. She gave birth to another child, and as soon as the child was born, the child just grew big. Now, one of the things you should know in the previous discussion, when Lord Brahma created all the different species of human also, there were 2 types. One of them, when he created to protect the water, regions. One of them, they were very hungry, and another one was very thirsty. So they asked Brahma what they should do because they were hungry and thirsty. He told them to protect these waters first. I've created you, protect the waters. So then one group of them, they say Rakshami. That means we will protect. And then the other group say Yakshami. We will sacrifice. Yeah. So the two groups say. So then Brahma laughed and said, okay, those who say Rakshami, you're all Rakshasas. Those who say Yakshami, you become Yakshas. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you that's what happened. So anyway, back to the story. One of the children from this Rakshasas, when Brahma created, the parent abandoned the child in the forest and left. So at that time, this was, I think, near the abode of Lord Shiva. So Parvati and Shiva, they were coming, and then they saw the child, and they felt sorry for the child. And then they immediately, Lord Shiva gave him the boon, and then it's amazing, they just felt that they should give him a boon, and he said, you can live long. And he gave him a wonderful aeroplane to fly on. And then Parvati also felt very sad about the situation. So she gave a boon to all Rakshasas, that if they get pregnant, the ladies, they will immediately, the child will develop and take birth. Instant. Cool, huh? Only for the Rakshasas though. So, and the child will grow to the age of the mother. Sometimes you want it, sometimes you don't want it. So that was the boon given to... So anyway, these children, when they were born, so Dasagriva also grew, and then the next child, Kumbhakarna. So he grew, but he grew humongous. Huge, like 2-3 stories tall, Yeah, like it's bigger than this building. And then these two brothers were harassing everyone in the forest, and Kumbhakarna would eat the sages, the rishis and all, and he's never satisfied. And so no one could stop him, even the demigods couldn't stop him. At that time, and then the third child was Shurpanaka. And she had the ability to transform and so on. And then the last child was righteous, Vibhishana. He is always righteous in his heart. So the mother of these 4 children, one day, she saw her, you can say her stepson, Vishwaravana, and he was flying and then she called her oldest child and said, look, I want you to be like him. But he was very envious because he was evil by nature. He said, I make this vow now that I will be better than him and I will destroy him. And so he makes a vow, and after making that vow, he and his brother Kumbhakarna himself, Vibhishana and Shurpanaka, they all went to I forgot the place, but they went to do meditation, and they performed meditation for 10,000 years. So Kumbhakarna was doing austere meditation in the fire. He had fire. During summer, he had fire all around him. And he was doing pious deeds. He didn't kill anyone or eat anyone for 10,000 years. And then during winter, he would go under cold water. So he was doing so much austerities. And then Dasagriva, he would chop his head in the sacrificial fire every 1,000 years. Chop, sacrifice. This is sacrifice in the mode of ignorance, because you're doing to destroy things, so it's very bad. And of course, Vibhishana, he just prayed for righteousness, understanding the scriptures, and how to protect Dharma. Just see, completely opposite children and brothers. So in any case, they became powerful like that. After 9,000 years, when he was about to cut his 10th head, Lord Brahma came and said, oh, hold it, I'm pleased with your austerities. Let me give you a boon. So then he asked for the boon to be able to destroy and conquer all the celestials, all the demigods, the Gandharvas, the Nagas, the serpents, all the different powerful living entities in the universe. And he said, I'm not interested, Brahma, about men and the animals, because they are nothing, but I want power for against everything. So Brahma blessed him and gave him a boon also, where he could change at will his form anyway, So Brahma gave him extras also. So then he was very, and Brahma also blessed him to grow his head back. So after the blessing, all his 10 heads popped up, pop, 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 like that. And he still looks like a crab. So then the other brother, Kumbhakarna, was about to ask, and then the demigods came to Brahma and said, please don't, already this guy is causing so much problem. If he gives a boon, we are dead. The universe is gone, So Brahma called his wife, Saraswati, and said, go into his mouth and do what the demigods tell you. So the demigods say, just say that he wants to sleep. So then Kumbhakarna, when he said, what boon do you want? He said, I want to sleep for many years. So then Brahma said, so be it, and he left. Obviously, before that he gave the boon to Vibhishana. So then Brahma immediately left. And then after that, Kumbhakarna regained his conscience. He said, what happened? Why did I ask for sleeping? Then he said, must be the demigods. They have done this to me, like that. So after he had this power, Ravana, I'll tell you, he got the name Ravana when he tried to disturb Lord Shiva. He came to Kailas, the mount, and then he was creating so much chaos there that Nandi, his servant, came and said, why are you making this noise? This region is not for you, go away, you rascal. And he said, who are you talking to? I'm the king, of the Rakshasas. But then Nandi was saying, go away, Dasagriva, nobody wants to see you. And Lord, this is abode of Lord Shiva. Then he said, who is this Lord Shiva? I'll smash his mountain. So he put his 20 arms under the mountain and it shook. And the whole mountain shook. The Parvati also collapsed from where she was sitting. And she got so angry. Whoever that rascal is, he will also suffer through a woman. So she cursed him like that. And so Lord Shiva, when he saw the whole mountain shake, he just put his big toe down. So when he pressed the toe, the portion where he lifted went hard on his 20 arms, that Ravana screamed, and the scream went through the upper planetary systems, and everyone got frightened. It was so terrible scream. Everyone was so shocked by the sound, and he was crying. And then all his advisors say, there's no choice, you better pray to Lord Shiva and ask him a boon to release you. So anyway, he does it. For how long he prays for? 1,000 years. So Lord Shiva held him for 1,000 years. And then after that, he created many wonderful prayers, and so finally Lord Shiva was pleased, came and said, okay, I release you, go away, don't mess around with all the people, I release you, go away. So instead of going away, he said, okay, I'll go away, but you said you liked my prayers, so why don't you give me a boon? Lord Shiva smiled, because this rascal wanted something. He said, give me a weapon, So then Lord Shiva gave him a sword, a very powerful. He said, if you don't treat this sword properly, it'll come back to me. So be very careful how you use it. So like this, Ravana was harassing the entire universe, and he was very lusty. He would kidnap women and take to his abode, and he'll rape them and so on. And in that way, he got cursed many times. It's getting late, right? So I will stop here, and you all want to break your fast and so on. And I just wanted to, since you all know about Ram, and I didn't want to touch too much about that pastime, I just wanted you all to know about other aspects of Ramayana also. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Oh yeah, sure. I can take questions. They want to take prasadam.
Anybody else?
Oh yeah, Kamalanayan. Lotus eyes.
No questions, Prabhuji, was one comment.
Okay.
For the past 6 days, as I said yesterday morning, that we all maintain the consciousness what we were having in Brahma Muhurta, and also during the daytime because of your morning Bhagavatam class, and the evening also, Bhagavad Gita class. We were wonderfully keeping our consciousness, really, really nice Krishna consciousness. We liked it very much. So my question is, do you really need to go back to Houston, Prabhuji?
Yeah. Yes, I have other responsibilities, just like you have, yeah. Yeah, we will come back, but yeah. Thank you for asking, yeah. I'm honored to come here also, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
There's a question from online.
Okay.
This is from Anu, Mataji.
Anu, small or big?
Anu from Houston.
Oh, Anu from East. Big Anu.
I understood that Lord Ram is Maryada Purushottam. Is there a difference between Vedic and Vaishnava Maryada? If so, could you please share an example? Thank you.
Well, whatever Lord Ram exhibits is both Vedic and Vaishnava. I think that should answer your question. Yeah, his behavior is ideal, and all his activities are from scripture. Generally, devotees follow scriptures nicely, and their behavior reflects scriptural injunctions. So, yeah, Vaishnavas are always upholding religious principles. So, in the same way, we should follow religious principles nicely, in accordance to what Srila Prabhupada has taught us, so we should follow in that way. Yeah? Right? Okay. Any other comment, reflections or questions?
So they used to say that Ravana did not die when the war took place, and that his life was in the navel or something like that, and only when he was hit there that he died. So how did that happen?
Well, there are different Ramayana, and in this morning I was explaining to the devotees that in different kalpa, there's a different, Lord Ram comes in different kalpas. So in each kalpa, when he comes, the pastime changes slightly. Yeah. So in that pastime, Lord Ravana hid his prana and everything in a different part of his body. But in this pastime that we read in Bhagavatam and so on, it was in his chest, in the heart. Yeah. So that's the difference. Yeah. Anyone else? Yeah, done. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. His Grace Radha Krishna Prabhu ki jai. Prabhu, I have a short thank you note for you.
Oh.
So you said hearing Lord's pastimes is very joyful, and I think we all agree. We really were so joyful hearing the pastimes. You almost took us to Treta Yuga in those pastimes. Thank you, Prabhu. And you nicely narrated the story of tiger and monkey, and through that you taught us certain lessons of dharma. And we're really fortunate that we have this human birth. And you told us how Lord Ram is the ideal king, ideal father, brother, husband. And we have got this opportunity of Krishna consciousness where we can become the ideal as well. So we should really be grateful for it and use this opportunity. And a few pastimes you told us was Vibhishana meeting Lord Ram, Dashrath got his name, how Dashrath got his name, and how Lord Ram was born, and story of Shravana Kumar, and how the Rakshasas came into being. That was totally new for me. I've not heard it. And how Dashagriva became Ravana, and how Kumbhakarna got a sleeping boon. So very wonderful pastimes, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And I know this is we had almost 9 classes with you, and this is our concluding class. And I echo what Kamal Naina Prabhu said, can you just stay back here?
Sounds like Satya Sir set you guys up.
It's our heartfelt request for you, Prabhu. Please come often.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
This
I'll
is-
try my best. Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, truly glorious. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Let us all chant for Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai
Hare
Srila
Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Shri Shri Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai. Ramanavami Mahotsav ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Devotees, I have a last section, thank you note. I'm going to keep it brief, but you all know how much effort our program goes into. So please forgive me if I missed any of the services. Shrikari gets the mercy from Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. So today's Ramanavami celebration is sponsored by His Grace Harinama Amrita Prabhu in memory of Sugopi Mataji. Thank you, Prabhu. We also have Srinivas Sama Prabhu, who is also sponsoring today's festival. And Prabhu has newly moved to Austin from Seattle. Thank you very much, Prabhu. And we would all like to deeply express our gratitude to Satyasara Prabhu and Jai Subhadra Mataji. They've been giving us so many devotional service opportunities. And as you all have heard from Prabhu, Radha Krishna Prabhu, that these services are extremely important for us to progress. Yes, we have to do our chanting, reading, but this is the practical application of that. So we're truly grateful to Prabhu and Mataji. And thank you all for coming today. I know it's a weekday, but it's so wonderful to see a full temple, full. So really, really thank you very much to everyone. And with that, quickly, I'll go in the order of the services. Please forgive me for not taking the names, because there's a really long list. So I'm just going to cover the services and the teams. First, we would like to express gratitude to all the devotees who started sending the pre-celebration write-up. It really set the devotional mood for Ramanavami, so thank you very much for that. Thank you to all the Kirtaniers today for mesmerizing and glorifying Lord Sri Ram. Truly got us into the mood. Thank you very much. And thank you to all the devotees for organizing the festival today, right starting from temple cleaning, because you have to maintain the temple's cleanliness and keep it tidy. So that was wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you to all the devotees who made this beautiful altar today, and to all the Matajis who made the garlands and set up the Abhishekam. It was just beautiful. And to all the devotees who set up and organized the temple, the whole seating and everything organized, and to the audio video, to the devotees who can't come, they could join remotely, so that's wonderful. And of course to the live streaming, so we can watch this program later as well for years to come. So we are on YouTube. So please watch. And thank you to the devotees for putting the rangoli and setting up the prasadam. Prasadam, I know we all are waiting for it. I'm not going to hold you all for long. But thank you to all the Matajis for making the prasadam. We have a really sumptuous prasadam today, and the distribution and packing team for getting it ready. We will have the to-go prasadam today. Please forgive me if I've missed anyone. but I know we all are fasting today. The sun has set. So, with that, let's Shri Ramanavami ki Jai. Yes, Prabhu. I was just looking for Dhriti for Prashadam prayers.
And also I want to thank Veena Mataji for coordinating the event end to end. We are very grateful to you, Mataji. Thank you. And Sanjana will sing Mahaprasade Govinde today. Okay, so and also we are keeping Charanamrit in that room. Whoever wants to break the fast with Charanamrit, you can go take Charanamrit, then reverse, come to this room. We have 2 go boxes, you can take and honor the Prashadam. Sanjana.
Mahaprasade Govinde. Nama Brahmani Vaishnave. Swapa Punyam Vatam Rajan. Vishwasonai Vajayate. Sarira Vidyajal. Jodendriyata Hekal. Jive Fele Vishaya Sagare. Taramadhyay Jivati. Loba Moe Sudharmati. Take Jitai Katina Samsare. Krishna Bharadaya Moy. Kari Bare Jiva Jai. Swaprasada Nadi Lobai. Sayanam Ritapav. Shri Radha Krishna Gunagav. Preme Thakur Shri Chaitanya Nitai. Jai Mai Jai Nitai. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar. Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everybody, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Mahaprasadam ki.